Okay. Hi, my name is Franco. I'm the CEO of Biologic, a company involved in the research and development of nutraceutical-based technologies. It's been a very interesting evolution working with Clarity. I think they really have a great grasp of how to approach formulation and how to address the needs of consumers, people involved in just lifestyle, health, and wellness, and those who are looking for performance enhancement. And I can tell you, in the past, I've been involved in a very aggressive and competitive performance enhancement. I've won the Mr. IFBB North American Championship, so I know what it takes to get there. It takes good drive, good will, good work ethic, but it also takes good strategies in terms of nutrition and nutraceutical strategies that support metabolic activity. And that's what we have here. We have an amazing opportunity with the Clarity Trin8ty product that they've created that supplies 3 different types of activity that provide a 1 + 1 + 1 is 5 as opposed to 3. It's great synergy. I'm going to start to talk a little bit about the inclusion named Ketoba. And Ketoba is a discovery and a patented technology that we've supplied Clarity to include in this Trin8ty product. Trin8ty really supplies a great synergy of antioxidants, signals for the body to generate endogenous or internal antioxidants, but also and that is the actual ketone itself, ketone body, which the brain in particular can use very efficiently to generate energy. And you have to keep in mind that whether you're involved in physical activity or cognitive activity, the brain plays a huge role in both to keep you energized, focused, and ready to perform. So the ketone, in terms of supporting neurological energy, is amazing, but there are other benefits I'm going to talk about in a moment. And then coupled to the antioxidant prompt is a great synergistic approach. The third element of Trin8ty that we have to keep in mind, and it's very important in the overall outcome, is gut health. So we're talking about creating a probiotic culture in the large intestine and throughout the gut to fully optimize health. Now, people think that this is just related to digestion, but really the biome does a lot more than just contribute to digestion. The byproducts of fermentation in the gastrointestinal tract, primarily the colon, short-chain fatty acids, and other compounds, actually enter the bloodstream systemically and are known to support insulin function, to support cognition, to support cardiac health. So a lot of the diseases that are prolific in society today, can stem, and there can be a huge contribution to those disease states because of poor biome and poor gastrointestinal health, primarily the disruption of the probiotic culture. And that often happens with poor diet, poor lifestyle, antibiotics, and things like that. So supplying this Trin8ty program is really a great attack on a lot of the different conditions and different targets, the health targets and disease targets that we need to address. So going back to start with the ketone. So why did I create Ketoba? Ketoba is not just your regular exogenous ketone. It supplies BHB, the exogenous ketone, that your body may need as a secondary substrate, which when your blood sugar is low becomes a primary substrate for your cells to use to make ATP energy. Now, people think that a substance like that is only required if you're going to be engaged in a ketogenic diet, and it's not the case. There's a lot of benefits associated with taking Ketoba, and that is that it helps to control blood sugar. So it supports the clearance of blood sugar if you have type 2 diabetes and fail to regulate blood sugar very well. But this is also associated intimately with weight management. So for example, those who may have a so-called quote unquote slower metabolic rate, this slower metabolic rate, and I hate using that term because it's so loosely used and really doesn't mean a lot, but what metabolic have as individuals that create these different cognitive and physical characteristics, whether it's weight gain, weight loss, are often associated with the state of insulin efficiency. So we've all heard of type 2 diabetes, but there are lesser degrees of type 2 diabetes that are called, pre-diabetic insulin resistance. And many of us have different degrees of these levels of inefficiency for glucose management. And what happens when your body develops a sort of insulin resistance, and this happens with age, we tend to develop insulin resistance, which slows the metabolism and our ability to recover. What happens is the pancreas has to produce more insulin to clear blood sugar. And that higher insulin level then creates an inflammatory state in the body. So you get to hear, as I speak through these technologies and metabolic states, how these products work so well in synergy. So as you age, or if you're one that has a slight insulin resistant state, that's even pre-diabetic, you may tend to put on weight faster. You may not recover as fast as an individual that has efficient insulin function because they're absorbing nutrients at a greater level. And so by taking Ketoba, you improve that insulin efficiency and blood sugar clearance into the cells. The other thing that happens is it's shown that Ketoba itself actually helps induce a transcription factor called NRF2, which helps to prompt the body, the cells in particular, to make their endogenous antioxidants. Now, Trin8ty has included an amazing product in the Trin8ty program that supplies an additional, very powerful signal to the genes of your cell through NRF2, this transcription factor. And you've heard of these antioxidants that we take to help protect the body from oxidation and protect your connective tissue from oxidation. And oxidation generally degrades us. It's part of the aging process that we can't very easily control. But here we have in the Trin8ty product as a second element to aid in Ketoba's function, we have this signal that tells your body to make superoxide dismutase, catalase, glutathione peroxidase. And what are those? Those are what are called endogenous antioxidants. They're made inside the cell. So you can take exogenous antioxidants like vitamin C, vitamin E, and things like that. These come from the outside in. They don't necessarily very efficiently penetrate into the cell. And here you have a mechanism by which you can empower your cell to make its endogenous internal antioxidants so that you're protecting organelles of your cells, your DNA, the mitochondria, and protecting from the inside out. So those two elements, Ketoba of Trin8ty's Trin8ty, do several things to signal to your cells to become proficient in their protective ability and preservation ability, as opposed to supplying agents that may not penetrate your cell to create that antioxidant support or protection. So Ketoba, in synergy to this antioxidant load, does other things. We've shown how, in our research, it actually stimulates the body's ability to use fat as a primary energy source. So the interesting thing is that your periphery of the body, if you go on a diet or restrict carbohydrates, the peripheral tissues can actually use fat as a primary energy source. By taking Ketoba in this Trin8ty product, you're pushing your body to actually utilize endogenous or internal fat as a primary source of energy. You're, again, supporting the cell's ability to make endogenous or internal antioxidants so that you're better protected. But the third leg and third element of this program in Trin8ty is the probiotic or biome element. So this is amazing how this all fits together, because that biome is critical, as I mentioned earlier, for systemic health. The probiotic culture typically ferments fibers, that soluble or insoluble fibers that are not digestible by your systemic digestive system. So as these fibers are fermented or so-called digested, the byproducts, short-chain fatty acids, are produced. And these short chain fatty acids create an environment in the biome that is cyclically proliferative of the probiotics. That means that it changes the pH of the environment in your gut to void pathogens and be conducive to maximizing that probiotic culture. And then those short chain fatty acids also travel to support insulin function, to support cognition. But the thing that makes ketoba a phenomenal element in that process is ketoba is made up of the ketone and BA, the butyric acid. And that coupling of the butyric acid is critically important because it does two things. One, it creates an environment in the biome to advance the probiotic culture. And that's very important because the short chain fatty acid, BA, butyric acid in ketoba, is in fact one of the fatty acids that are made by that probiotic culture from your fiber intake. And so what we're doing with ketoba is not only priming your cells to make ATP energy in the brain, in the heart, and in the liver, but you're also in the colon for that probiotic culture that is in the Trin8ty product so that it helps culture that entire system. So it's a great synergistic program. I like what they've done there. It was great ideology. I've tried the products all together and they're phenomenal together. For cognition, I'll take it in the morning and energy levels are phenomenal before a workout. Your body's able to burn fat as a primary source of energy because that's what we're trying to do with exercise. And your insulin function, you can tell throughout the day is good because you're not fluctuating with energy. Many of those who tend to have a poor diet and coupled to insulin resistance or diabetes tend to have fluctuations in blood sugar. And that then creates an energy fluctuation, creates cognition problems, and then weight gain because we tend to then binge eat in order to compensate for this low blood sugar that can occur, hypoglycemia. But when you're eating this supplement, when you're taking this supplement daily, you are able to increase serum ketone levels to the point, now these are ketones in your blood, to the point where if blood sugar drops a little bit, then this ketone can serve as a secondary energy source that can pinch hit for your cells to provide ATP, and then you don't feel that hunger. You don't feel that lack of control over your diet, over carbohydrate cravings. And then again, the ketone coupled to the butyrate serves as an initializing program for the biome. The probiotic culture that's supplied in Trin8ty then gets a head start in the biome because of this butyric acid in ketoba. And you then have this antioxidant load that's not just coming from the outside in, but is signaling your cells to make its own antioxidant endogenously. So it's a great program overall. I love it, and they've done a great job with it. Try it for yourself, and you'll see that life change happens within a matter of a few days. Thanks very much.
Awesome, Franco.
How's that?
That was really good. And it sounded really good, and it looked really good here on my end. So I'm sure Robin will be happy.
Okay, great. Great.
Can't thank you enough for your time. It really means a lot to us to get this content down because Trin8ty is a new product and we don't have much for content. And now you've just given us a whole bunch.
Good. You're very welcome.
Okay. You have a great day, buddy.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.